Hey, welcome back. So today is the day. We're gonna start tearing this stuff apart. I've got the antifreeze draining. Actually, it looks like it's almost drained all the way out. So next thing is pull the radiator, charge air cooler, upper lower radiator hoses, bypass hoses, and then that thing will be ready to come out. Then we'll go on to the next step. That opens it wide up. So the only thing holding the radiator in is the strut rod there, 2 bolts there, 2 there, and then another strut rod. And then there's 2 bolts that go in on the side, and then it lifts out. So it sure opens up the engine though. Okay, on to the next one. I'm gonna pull the upper radiator hose off and then possibly the water outlet, but I want to see if one, it has a thermostat, and 2, if it's in the right way, because I'm not sure it was even changed. No place to set anything. Oh, there it goes. Always afraid of breaking bolts. I don't think that. We're gonna find out, but I don't think it's ever been replaced. And that was one of the things they were supposed to do. But we're gonna find out. I don't think this has ever been out. It says 192 on it, so that's the temperature that it opens. But honestly, I don't think it's ever been changed. No, you can't see this, but the gasket's got, unless they reuse the gasket, because the gasket has paint on it. Where's it at? I don't know if you can see it, but there's overspray. So I don't think they've changed it, and that was one of the things they were supposed to do, because it looks awful dirty up on the inside. I don't know if you can see that or not, but I think that might have been the issue. I don't know if you can see it or not. I had a new thermostat put in over the summer, and it looks all dirty and worn up there, so I don't know if they ever replaced it or not. I just called Cummins, and according to them, it's an 83 degrees Celsius, which converts to 181 degree Fahrenheit thermostat, and I don't know if you can see that or not, but that's 192 in there. So if you look at the, I don't know if you can see it or not, but if you look at the O-ring, there's still overspray on the engine, or I'm sorry, on the O-ring. So whether or not they reused it or this was an old change, but for a thermostat that was just put in over the summer, I don't know. I'm going to order a new one and then compare it to this. So I'll hold off on any definite answers for now until I get the other one there. But this may have been the issue with the, well, potential overheating or it not working all right. So anyway, I got another one ordered. We'll compare it when it gets here and go from there. As you can see, I just pulled the clutch pan off. I'm going to change the water pump while I have it apart. All the antifreeze is drained out anyway. I don't have any history on it, so I thought this would be a good time to change it out. Could be original, could have been replaced at one point, but it's a good time to change it. Yeah, it's coming out anyway. Yeah. Threads are all coated with rust, so it's probably been in there a while, but it's a 5-blade. You can see a ring of crust around the seal, and the weep hole's open, so hasn't leaked yet, but it's just time to change it. Concentric India. So all this work just to get to the tappa cover and the fuel pump. I don't know if you can see it, but I'm sure you're familiar with where they're located. I gotta pull the computer out next and then get to the fuel pump, get a couple more lines out of the way, and I'll get started. So let me keep going. Well, I'm kind of at a crossroads. I've got everything cleared on this side. I still need to get the fuel pump out of there. The computer has to come off so I can get to the tappa cover, and the fuel pump's in the way. I'm pulling the front cover off to change the camshaft anyway, and obviously the front crank seal. So one of the things I've been debating about is I have a cylinder head with O-rings on it, and I was saving it for another project, and then I thought, well, I could put it onto here, but it would really need compound turbos. I guess it really doesn't need them, but it would be helpful. if I decide to run the compounds. The problem with the compound turbos is I'm not sure if they'll fit in here, so that's something I have to investigate. If you look, that's the Borg Warner K27. It's bolted up to a factory location aftermarket exhaust manifold, and on the bottom here it's really close to the frame. Now the other turbo that I was looking at, or the compound kit I was looking at, it puts it really close to the same spot, but I have to see if the lower turbo would fit in there without hitting the frame, because I really don't want to cut the frame. So, and then put the exhaust roughly in the same location. So that's something I need to do. I have two of the HX25s, or I'm sorry, HX35s that I bolted up to a downpipe. So I think what I'm going to do is pull the the exhaust manifold off there with the turbo, and then see if the duals will fit in, or the compound will fit in there, and see what it looks like. And at that point, make the decision to buy the rest of the kit for a compound and see what happens. So let me yank that one off there, and I'll show you what it looks like. I'll show you one last look before I pull it off there. So it's a 4-inch exhaust pipe. Like I said, Borg Warner K27. It's got a monster alternator, and then the oil filter there on the right, and then the elbow, similar to the pickup, a little different, but that kind of gives you an idea. So let me deal with that, and then I'll bring it back and show you what a set of compounds would look on it, or a compound setup. Well, moment of truth. Do you want this one? Or do you want this one? Here is the compound. This is just two HX35s mocked up in there. It's the 2002 Dodge truck manifold turned upside down. Actually, I don't know if it's turned upside down. And then the stock turbo that came with it sitting on top. And then I got the downpipe from the company that has the compound set that I'm looking at, and then the other HX35 is mounted below it. I don't know if it's in the correct location because it swings in and out. I'm going to order their other bracket and see where that puts it. If it comes out more, the cold side could hit the frame or the exhaust. So the other turbo they uses a T4 mounting flange, so it's a little bit bigger. I've only got one bolt holding it in there because that one uses the smaller housing. And then this stuff here, it is electrical wires. I will have to relocate that. Anyway, as of right now, I think it'll fit, but I need to get that other bracket from them and see exactly where that sits. The cold side's not clocked or anything, it's just sitting in there. And the top is the same thing, it's just sitting in there, the centerpiece. And then I did turn that because it was hitting the exhaust manifold. It was dropped at some point or something. So anyway, that's all I got for now, and I'll get going on it again in the morning. And I just wanted to give you a sneak peek of what compounds would look like on there and see if it's even possible. My concern is the engine sits lower in the frame than it does on the pickup truck, so the lower turbo could be an issue. Well, after further investigation, I discovered this one's not going to work. If you look at, I don't have the bracket, but if you look at it, as I understand it, the bracket that attaches to the exhaust manifold on the bottom side there makes this piece flat. The exhaust housing makes it sit flat. So in the flat location, the cold side is already hitting the frame. I'm not sure if you can see it. And the hot side is hitting the bundle of wires there. So that would have to get all relocated. And then I would have to modify the frame. The other turbo they have is the S369. And it's a lot bigger than that. So I'm going to have to go with a different turbo altogether. If you look at the 3rd gen compounds,
they use the HE351 that hangs down below the manifold, and then the other turbo sits on top of it. And I've got like 15 inches of clearance between the valve cover and the bottom of the hood, so that there should be enough room up there to fit that. I guess that's the way I'm gonna go. I have to find an HE351 just to make sure it's gonna bolt to the bottom of the exhaust manifold, and then so the cold side doesn't hit the frame, because it bends forward instead of straight out and has an elbow on it. So let me find one of those, and then I'll come back and we'll see what it's gonna do.